shiver a little more, because today on this episode of the Daily Drift, we are joined by not one but two very talented musical guests. Please welcome to the show Teddy SWIMS and ILLENIUM.
Wow.
My
What's
guys. My
What
guys. I mean, we're basically
always
just
a
rerunning
treat.
Bonnaroo back again. It's like, what?
Yeah.
We got the band back together again.
For real.
Come on.
You
Always
both
a
have
pleasure
quite
to
a
chat
few.
with you.
There's quite a few fans for both of you here in the chat today. So shouts out to everyone who's joining us. Miracle and Coven and Antiago and people. They've been waiting here since the top of the show. I said, you got to get through an hour of me just blabbing nonsense before we bring the boys in and break down all the amazing things that are happening in your world. First and foremost, congrats on the music. Congrats on the song. I mean, we heard it at Bonnaroo. We're hearing stripped down versions of it too. I'm shaking, much like the chat is, because y'all prefaced it to me right before you went on a stage down in Tennessee. You're like, we got a little something special here. You're like, people haven't heard it yet, but we got a little something special. And I think it's kind of an understatement. It's more than a little bit special. You know, I said before y'all guys came into the chat, on paper, when you look at what both of y'all do, this doesn't work. We're not going to get this big-barreled vocalist from Georgia and this guy who makes the most progressively amazing dance music and put them together and make us smash it. And guess what? That's why we love it, because it freaking works and it works well. Talk to me about how y'all linked up and how we got this started.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was a huge fan of Teddy. I had followed him on like social media, and he's just like got one of the most beautiful, epic voices ever. He's a man too. Getting to know him has been amazing, and yeah, we just like came across this song, and it was like one of the easiest, quickest, just like pretty much done within like a week kind of deals. And it was like, well, I want to play this out. Let's meet up at Bonnaroo. Let's play it live. It was like really fast. It was sick.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
amazing.
it was just on par for what you get in 2020 is that, that I think Bonnaroo, when we played it together, was the first moment we actually like met,
Yeah.
I think we had like message or maybe text up until that point before I got there, but it was the first time we got to actually meet. You don't really get to. It's so weird that we're able to be in a time where we can, not ever even know each other and do something amazing. And then thank God we were, kindred spirits in some way, because, ILLENIUM could have been just an awful guy, but he seems to be such a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
We're good buddies now, you know what I mean? I could have been just like an absolute. I mean, I definitely drank. He doesn't, so when I got to Bonnaroo, I he let me have his bottle because he wasn't drinking it.
It's the mark of true friendship there.
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
it was an amazing time. Yeah, it was good. It was an amazing time.
It's cool because I love that you have this experience where, and I deal with this on a daily basis, especially here on the Daily Drift. We all three are very fortunate. We have been in these same physical spaces with one another many times before, and it's always a pleasure to connect with you. But, in this time and space, especially since 2020, we've existed in this virtual world, not just by virtue of someone having a conversation and an interview, but a lot of artists connecting. I think 90% of the people I sit down and have a chat with who said that they've collaborated with people they've never even met. And I feel like this is, I don't want to say it's the move and the way forward. And things probably existed in that capacity because even pre-lockdown, touring and being in different cities or whatever. Yeah. When y'all finally met in person, then what was that first moment? Like, we're like, oh shit, you're not just a hologram, you're a real boy. It's a little weird, right?
Yeah, I know. I actually felt I was wrongly nervous because also me as well. I'm an ILLENIUM fan, and so like there was that nerves, and then I mean I think I can maybe speak for both of us. Right? So we locked eyes, and it was just hugs immediately, and it was like we picked up where we left off, even though we had never left off on anything before. So it was kind of like I felt like I'd known him forever, and it was just but there was definitely the nerves of like, oh my God, I got to prepare to sing this song that we've never played. It's gonna be for me the biggest crowd I've ever played, and in Bonnaroo. I was getting a quick run through on the pyro, and I've never, had pyro in my life before. So they were like, just make sure that you don't cross this line right here, and you'll be fine. And I was like, oh yeah, that's easy. Only thing I got to remember, and I totally crossed that line. And I could have lost an eyebrow, you know what I mean? But luckily those guys, you know, they make sure I'm not across the line. But it's just all those things you're prepared to say or you're prepared to do, and then it just completely goes out the door, you know, and you just kind of bumble onto the stage and just do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta
and-
imagine there's like this moment that's like a little strange because I don't know if there's ever been CO2 cannons and pyro at a Teddy SWIMS show, but maybe
No,
that's
God,
something
no,
to be
not even
incorporated
close.
into the next one.
those high notes, dude. Just like, it's got to be that epic high note moment.
Straight up, you
I
gotta
love
make
that.
it.
Honestly, that'd be
Well,
so
let me-
funny and
yeah.
awesome.
That would be amazing. I would love to see something like that. You just like belting out, and then when you hit that note, and it's just flames like
Yeah.
shot out.
Fire.
Let me ask
Yeah,
both of
dude.
you. Then let me come over to you first, Nick, and just what is something that you learned about yourself as a musician by working with Teddy, and then we'll flip it over to you, Teddy, and we'll ask you the same question.
I mean, I learned that I will never be able to sing because Teddy
Okay.
is just like, it's never going to happen for me. And thank God that Teddy and I are friends because it's just so lovely having like a friend that is just an epic singer.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
just
do
feel like,
100 more.
yeah, right. This song was just a great reminder for me just to like, you know, enjoy the moment and like take these kind of songs and it's, you know, kind of just a reminder to stay true to what I love and what I am in music for, you know. It's like why, you know, what I want to give people is some escape and some like some happiness and love and stuff. So I feel like that is
Yeah.
exactly what this song was. So it's a good reminder to stay in that.
Hell yeah. And what about for you, Teddy? What's something that you learned about yourself on your musical journey as you've crossed paths now with this powerhouse known as ILLENIUM?
I mean, one thing I can always say is it's always, I mean, even though we both do music in a way, it's always so refreshing. I feel like you learn more about your own passion when somebody else has a passion for something else that might do, you know, whether like for him it's production and, you know, and like the instrumental side of things and you know, watching somebody be able to so authentically bring themselves to something and elevate it in a way that I would have never seen it be done. You know, like when I first received the song, my buddy Stu and Rabel and I think a couple other guys wrote on it too, and he showed it to me, and of course I was just immediately like in love with the song. But there's always this thing about how like when you hear the greatest people like Michael Jackson or Marvin Gaye or people that were just Elvis, you know, who maybe weren't the writers of the song so much, but they knew exactly how to so authentically bring themselves to it or hear it and say like, when I get done with this is going to be what it needs to be, you know. And I find that even in my songs that I write or in music that I make, I'm so very linear minded on if I hear something one way, I get what we call demoitis, and I like hear it one way, and I just like I don't know if that's gonna like you know. And when I first got the first like the first thing, you know, when I heard it and the way that like he came to it and made it in a way that I didn't think it might even be able to go, but elevated in such a way and still true and still like to the piece and you know what it was, and even use certain things to elevate certain words or certain, you know, you could tell that he's gone in and like really crafted to maybe this part to his favorite lyric here or this to enhance this moment or to this emotion, you know. And it was just like it was very it elevated the song to a way that I didn't, and even made me like want to more like maybe I need to go back and re-sing this here and do this here. You know. And I think in a way we kind of go back a couple times and we get that magic that wasn't there to begin with at all, you know. I think it's quite if that makes sense what I'm saying, you know. It's just
it definitely makes sense.
Man.
I think you've touched on something that's truly remarkable about both of you individually, and to have it come together on a track as such, it is tapping into that emotion. And to find you, Nick, being able to do that with more of the instrumentation side of it. I mean, you like even talking right now, I get chills thinking about certain songs of yours and elements where I'm like, it's that spine tingle, like full over body chill moment. And it could be something as small as like a tiny little progression or a sound in the background, and it evokes that kind of emotion. And it's the same with you, Teddy, when it comes to, it could could be a quick little vocal run or a hit or an ad lib or just some note that you hit that's unexpected.
Right.
And so to have those two powers come together on a track like this, I'm literally sitting here. I run hot-blooded, like I'm hot all the time. I am in chills talking about it because I know the passion and the power that both of you bring to the table, and especially in a collaboration like this, you hear that, and you hear that detailed work, which is so finely tuned from both of you. So this is just me fanning out on you in a big way because it's an absolutely beautiful track, and getting to hear it live in person and then on the recorded versions. Now we've got a stripped down acoustic style version of it. It continues to breathe new life into this already special piece of art that you guys have created. I want to kind of flip this on y'all a little bit, because you started to mention it a little bit, Teddy, and you're talking about these greats and the Michael Jacksons and the Marvin Gayes. We actually started today's show by asking the chat, if y'all had one song that you could listen to again for the first time ever, like any song that is like so special to you and you're hearing it for the first time ever again, and you only have one choice, do you have an idea as to what that song would be that you would want to hear again for the first time ever? Nick, let's go to you first.
Man, that is such a tough question. I feel like I have one, because genres, like there were points in my life where hearing like the first 7 Lion song was just like, how did he do any of that? But there's also times where it's like, the first time I heard like What I've Done by Linkin Park just blew my epic mind. So it's like different. If I'm thinking of it as like I want to be a producer and try to learn stuff, it's more like the 7 Lions or Porter route of maybe hearing like Language or like Worlds Apart for the first time. And then in the rock world would be like a Linkin Park song, What I've Done or Numb or something. So sick. Like that.
Yeah. What about for you, Teddy?
And I would, so I when I was in the 4th grade, it was the first time I had heard my teacher played out The Greatest Hits of Al Green for us. And I remember like, I'm so tired of being alone came on. I'm so tired of being alone. That I will never forget. Like I was in 4th grade, and I don't know why I had like hit me the way it did, because I definitely didn't. I definitely wasn't able to like feel those emotions. You know what I mean? But it shocked me in a way that I'm almost positive that 4th grade, even if it took me this long in my life now to hear soul music, it would move me in the way like that song. Or, I mean, I could say anything at all from Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. If you got like Summer Soft or something, the way that album, man, the entirety of that album, I could listen, and every time I listen to that album, you listen all the way through, and it feels like the first time that you're like, to capture that first time feeling every time. I think I get that out of that album, to be honest. The Songs in the Key. I think I get the whole first time feeling every time I listen to it.
Yeah, I love both of the takes on this and the reasonings as to why. And the more that we're sitting here, I started to think, because I had a different idea at the top of mind when we started talking about the show earlier. And now the more I'm thinking about it, I know this is going to sound hella corny, but the reasoning and the mentality behind it, I would listen to Celine Dion's the song from Titanic, My Heart Will Go On, because the story and the legend of this is, she did it in one take. When you're talking, Teddy, about demo versions, she went in, she cut the vocals one take, she was out the booth and she was done. I want to go back and listen to it the first time again, because now knowing that piece of information is like, how did she do this? Like, that song is epic. It signifies a moment in pop culture history. But my girl went in there and did it in one take. How dare she?
That is insane, actually. That's
But I think that's a beautiful thing about like with amazing song and an amazing vocalist. It's like knowing the difference of what a performance feels like. Even if there's issues, even if there's things wrong, like knowing what a performance feels like and capturing a moment in a song rather than an emotion. I mean, the melody and the lyrics of that song are absolutely, without a doubt, incredible and would be a smash. But if she would have done that in 100 different takes and spliced together, then I think it was really the emotion invoking the performance out of that song that was like made that song what the song was, And if she might to this day hear it back and like hear those little mistakes she might have made that
I wonder if she's still happy with it. That's what I always
right?
think about it, because I feel like everyone is their hardest critic. Yeah.
Let's get her into the show. Let's call up Celine. Hey, Celine, do you
Yeah.
still love what you did?
Yeah, are you still happy with that? Because I know,
Yeah,
I know for
right?
me, I'm like never, ever, ever happy with what. But I accept it, you know, and I think similar to like I think some songs are meant to be that way. You know, let's track them once and like let that just be what it is. I mean, isn't that the
Yeah.
function of live music in general, right? It's hearing it once and
Right?
all of
I feel
It's
like
not like
entirety and
sometimes,
it's
yeah, when the song is that good, like when I made my song, one of my songs, "Crawl Out of Love," with I got a demo from Annika, and it was a straight demo, no doubles, no harms, nothing, and I just like was obsessed with the take. I listened to that demo like 5 million times, and we didn't. She was like, "I want to cut new stuff." I'm just like, "It is perfect. Don't touch it. I want like it's amazing." We became super good friends. And she still hears it and is like, I want it to still change. Crap. It's so funny. How
I get in this place with my manager all the time, or my label, you know, where we'll do something and about, hey man, so when you guys like recorded this song, maybe you didn't record it on a good enough mic, and you what's happening here? Oh, sorry. Yeah, maybe you didn't record it on a good mic, and you can you guys see me? Oh, there I am. Okay, I don't know what happened. Sorry.
We got you. We got you.
So I was like, you know, I maybe I recorded on a bad mic, and maybe it wasn't like that, but the way that we wrote it and the feeling that we encapsulated, and the way I'm like you do a song, and I feel like the vocal's done. If it's not good enough to work with, then like I guess the song's not gonna come out, you know. And they'll be like, no, just retrack it. You could probably capture something different, just as good. But I'm like, yeah, but it will be different, and that's what I can't stand. I don't want to re-record the vocal. I don't care if it sounds like, but because you know somebody like ILLENIUM here will be like, no, it's perfect, and I will polish this turd of a vocal and make it work with this track before I have you recut this vocal, you know, because it could miss something.
I know. When you've like struck fire like that, you're like, I already know we don't need to touch it. Here in the chat too, a lot of people giving y'all both some love for everything that you've been able to do. User Jackie Glitch here says, don't touch Crawl Out of Love. It's perfect. And I think you pretty much attest to that as well too. I do have to give a special shout out here though, because when we're talking about some of our favorite songs and hearing them for the first time or in a new way, potentially, Teddy, I got to tell you, my mom is here in the chat. And she gave you some love. She's giving you some love. She watched you on America's Got Talent, singing one of her favorite songs of all time. You were on the finale with the winner, Cody Lee. You did Journey's Don't Stop Believing, which I was DJing on Twitch, was it over the weekend? And my mom came in the chat. She's like, play Journey's Don't Stop Believing. And I was like, this ain't really the vibe for it, but we're going to make it work, Mom. But she's giving you your flowers right now. She loved the rendition.
It was such an incredible thing to have to have Neil from, you know, the guitarist from that band to come and join us too. And I'm like slowly trying to sneak my way into being like, maybe you guys should just let me tour with Journey for a couple months. You know, I'm low key trying to be the lead singer of Journey. You know what I mean?
Listen, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at that. But you said the key word, which is going to take us into another point of conversation, which is tour. Both of y'all have some amazing shows coming up. Nick, I know you just announced is it your biggest show ever, or if not one of? And I know it's not until June of next year, but
yeah, it could be. It should be.
The
ideally.
the trilogy show.
Yeah, in Colorado.
Crazy.
Yeah, Denver. It's nuts.
That's going to be massive. It's not until June 17th. 2023. Yep. 3 unique sets over the course of one night. Tickets are on sale right now. Whoa. I know you've got quite a few dates going on, and then Teddy, you too. You're just like ripping and running all fall long. You're going on a massive tour.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say massive, you know what I mean, but
it's always massive. It's when you put on stage, it's always massive.
Facts.
Very. Yeah, I like to think so. Yeah, I like to think. You know, but I think we're doing a lot of a lot of our B-market stuff that we didn't hit on the last one, you know. So we're hitting the Macon, Georgias, and the Birmingham, Alabamas, and the places we did before, man. Making the rounds, and I think in about a week I'm leaving to start doing Hawaii, New Zealand, Australia. It'll be my first time out to any of those places. So very excited, man. Very excited.
Well,
That'll
I
be
think
fun.
your fans are all very excited as well too. Is there any opportunity for you guys to relink back up again at certain points or certain dates so we can get that all that
Always.
really matters live together again? Or is that in the works?
It's not
Always,
presently in the
man.
works, but it'll happen for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
It's so easy to
Okay.
work with Teddy. I mean, he's every time we did a video shoot or anything, it's just so fun to hang. So it'll happen
Yeah.
at some point when we both cross paths for sure.
Yeah, and it never
I
feels
love
like
it.
work. I think we're there all of 2 hours, when we're together. We hang out for all of
Yeah.
2 hours and maybe take a 15-minute photo shoot, and that's it. I mean, it's always so easy. It doesn't feel like work, and that's I definitely say, as much as I love doing music, man, sometimes it does feel like a job, and not with ILLENIUM. It doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that it doesn't feel that way. I mean, I feel like it's so familial, and even getting a chance to catch up with you guys the many times that we have before. I do want to give another congratulations again to you, Nick. We mentioned it earlier, and some people did here in the chat as well. Nick's a whole fiance now. He's about to get booed up officially.
Right.
It's happening. How are you feeling? Like, what is the energy like in terms of balancing the touring, the big trilogy show coming up, and then you're like, and I have to have a personal life all the same. Like, where are you at? Is there scheduling? Is there planning? Is Teddy singing at the wedding? Like, what's happening?
It's honestly been amazing and super beautiful experience, and Laura's really happy. She's excited. She has kind of found a really good balance of like coming to some shows, but then also not coming to a lot, just to kind of like have her own comfort zone and stuff, because it can get so exhausting, especially with like Vegas shows tied in, and it's not as much as people kind of see what I do and be like, oh, that must be like so easy and fun. It's like can be really draining and hard to get sleep and unhealthy sometimes, but she's been really, really happy. And I'm in LA right now. I just finished my studio, and we've been spending a bunch of time here and Denver, and it's been awesome. We're looking at some wedding possibilities next year and stuff. So it's been a really fun process. All the families are excited, and it's been really lovely.
I think your entire musical families are very excited as well too. Seeing the love for both of you on social, seeing the love in the chats, seeing the love in the comments of the videos, and just everything that both y'all do. The reason why I love you guys is, one, y'all both make incredible music, like I said, that makes me feel all of the emotions. But it's just the smiles and the love that just flow and emanate like through the screen talking to you, even when we link in person too. It's just like this is real talent, this is real music, this is real good vibes, no matter what. And it's a genreless experience. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of one style or another. Watching both of you get to do what you do is such an honor and such a pleasure, because y'all are both working at such a high frequency level of amazingness. So it's a true honor and pleasure to have
You're
you
amazing
here
too, Hannah. We appreciate it.
Oh, come on.
You're so nice.
Yeah, we love
nice.
Hannah Ride, man.
I was fishing for that comment. No, not at all. No, it's really exciting to.
Really nice.
Let me ask you both, because y'all both have released music in various capacities before, whether it's singles, EPs, music videos, full albums, whole trilogies of experiences. Would both of y'all, if you had the opportunity, ever do a full project together? Give me like a 5-6 song EP, and it's both y'all, and it's just you two to do.
Are you kidding me?
It'd be super
no-brainer.
easy. I would love to just either both like to do things together, but also just to like work with Teddy in his space and like just build a song with him however he wants to. I love that idea too. Doing like multiple some big anthemic stuff, but also some just kind of tone back, let him like do his thing. I love that.
I love this idea. I love this creative brainstorm that we're having right here. I know both of you are like booked, busy, blessed between performances and touring and weddings and everything else amazing. But I'm gonna manifest that. I want a whole project from the pair of you. Yes. In my wildest dreams, I'm writing this down and manifesting that out.
Let's put it in there, man. I'm right there with you. Let's put it out.
Let's go. All right, one final question for you, and this comes. My mom is in here. She's doing all kinds of research. She already gave some love to Teddy, so now she's giving some love to ILLENIUM over here. She said, "Ask ILLENIUM, how do you celebrate your birthday the day after Christmas?" Mom wants to know.
You know,
Oh,
I
yeah, God
honestly,
bless you.
literally, I'd take some sort of like plane every time for my birthday. My birthday is like, that's kind of why I don't really care about birthdays, which is kind of messed up. But
Yeah.
I feel like I love Christmas and I don't really care about my birthday because
Yeah.
it's crap. You know, it's kind of shitty.
Listen, my birthday is January 3rd, and it was always this thing where it was like things get packaged together, or it's like you
Yeah,
don't really
totally.
celebrate it because everyone is all like holidayed out. So as a fellow Capricorn, high five through the
Yep.
screen. I don't care about the birthdays. I'll celebrate
We get
myself
gypped.
every day. So
Yeah, we get gypped.
a little bit, but it's never short on the love, and it's never short on the love when you guys come into the Daily Drift. Illenium for the second time, Teddy Swims for the first time here with me on the channel, and I'm sure it won't be the last for either of us. I got to thank you guys so much for sharing the love, energy, and good vibes here on the show today. Keep crushing it. All that really matters is the name of the song, and all that really matters is that we had another amazing conversation here on the show today. Teddy and Nick, thanks so much for joining us here on the show today.
Smooches.
Thank you, Hannah.
We're loving the love on the Daily Drift.